Hello and welcome to another episode of Two Labs Garage. Today, we're going to be working on the Falcon again. And what I'm hoping I'm going to be able to accomplish is try to at least drive it at a very minimum up and down the driveway. I'd like to be able to kind of take it around the neighborhood and all a little bit. But nonetheless, my goal right now is just to get this thing driving. Alright, so in the revival video, I was able to get the thing running for the first time in years. And the deal breaker of that particular day of getting the thing driving was the fact that I couldn't get the master cylinder to come around at all. So anyway, since then, I've upgraded to disc brakes in the front, rebuilt the rear drums, plumbed all new lines, got a new master cylinder in. Actually did a disc brake conversion up front. There's a video of that up here. So anyway, what I'm going to be doing now is I got to finish hooking the gas tank up. I just got a little bit left to do there. I'm going to have to bleed the brakes. And also, it's mid-May now, and the last time this car was started was late January when I shot the revival video. So, it's been a little bit. Also, I think I was dealing with a stuck float that particular day. So I'm going to have to see if I can unstick this float. If not, I've got a Holley 2-barrel carburetor I've been thinking of sticking on here. That was my original plan, but I went to a swap meet a month or two ago, and I picked up a 4-barrel manifold, so we may be switching this to 4-barrel. But the big thing is, right now I noticed that my clutch pedal is sticking, and the fact that this thing hadn't been driven in over 40 years on the highway, I'm hoping maybe just some vibrations and heat will get the thing loosened up. So I don't know if I got a clutch in this. So before I spend too much time and money on other stuff, I want to make sure I got a clutch. So that's really the goal of this, is just to find out what I got. I still got some things like hoses to change, figure out what I'm going to do with the carburetor, clean it up, other miscellaneous stuff, put some new rubber on it. These tires are 20 years old, but they hold air. So anyway, let's get to it. Alright, so first things first, getting ready to put my filler net back on. I got some rust inside it. Now, I'm not really looking to buy a new one of these. So my way I've come up with to fix this, I'm going to take the Scotch brake pad, stuff it in, then take my pry bar, just push her on through. Now, I don't know if you saw it or not, but a little brown cloud came out when I did that. Go the opposite way? Sure, why not? And back. And anyway, to rinse it out, I'm just going to dump a little lacquer thinner through it. Ooh. That got an awful lot out. Alright, so up in the trunk now. And I have here Bronco fitting. Now this is something that I picked this up from Lowe's. And I first got the idea to use one of these when I was doing my Fairlane, because I used a Mustang gas tank in the Fairlane, because it was a whole lot more economical. However, the Mustang filler net and the Fairlane filler net were different diameters. So this and those fiddlesticks, I just can't. Oh, right here the whole time. So this and that were different diameters, but they make one of these that goes from 1.5 to 2. It worked perfect. This is just 1.5 inches all the way around, and it's going to work good in here. Now, to help it go on a little easier, I did run a little bit of oil on the inside of the rubber, and that just makes it flop on here a whole lot easier. And now just get the cover neck in there. Alright, so that's on. Now all I gotta do is get this vent hooked back up. Alright, so this has got a pinch fitting on it. So I'm going to try to use these channel locks to get it off. See if I can't break them. I actually got some of these fittings in the pliers that go with them. They're pretty nice actually. Though they are a bear to get off. There we go. Someone asked one time where I got a pair of yellow handle channel locks. Honestly, I've had them so long I don't remember. Sorry. Alright. Now just to hook the vent line up. Find a leftover remnant of a 5/16 fuel line. Perfect size. And I'm going to show y'all just why I got so I do actually like the pin trains. The whole reason I even gave them a try was I had to repair my dishwasher. And you had to have this for that. So anyway, just take it like this. Secure. It's that easy. So anyway, bottom one off. And there it is, all hooked up. Now I can put fuel in it. I don't have to run a boat tank. One battle won. Alright, so I've decided to go ahead and take the top off the carburetor and just see what it looks like inside. And now it'll tell me if this is even worth me messing with this carburetor, if I need to go ahead and change it. Now, having said that, we all have our strengths and weaknesses messing with these cars. My strength is definitely not a carburetor. Hopefully that may be holding it too. Please say this is the right size. Of course not. Alright, so got that out. We'll see what we look like in here. Careful with it. She don't look bad. Not bad at all. Looks like the needle's working and everything. That's a good sign. Alright. Surprisingly clean in here. Somebody may have rebuilt this. Alright. That gasket's never even been wet. So that's a good sign. Good sign. So I'm just going to stick it back together. Since it's been sitting so long, I'll probably run some Berryman through it. Some people refer to that as the Italian tune-up. This carburetor should definitely give me a good idea of what I got. That truck could probably use a little lube, but other than that, we're not looking too bad. I think I'm going to call it a day for right now. But before I do that, I think I'll put some of this on the choke linkage. Just free it up a little bit. Well, at long last, I am getting to this part. I've been waiting. Time to put a little gas in it. Alright, so at this phase I'm getting ready to fire her up. Being this is several months worth of work that I've done, little by little, just trying to make sure I've got everything buttoned up. Fuel lines are tight, fuel filter's tight. A couple weeks ago I popped the lid off that, looks good inside. All those connections look good. Now that is a little bit concerning. So I got something for that. Also, I do have a new battery tray for it, but for now, we're just going to do it like it is. Alright, so they make this stuff to flush radiators. I've heard it works good and all, but also if you just don't have any of that available, thing I've used in the past, white vinegar. Between heat and whatnot, I found it to be good to flush everything from an outboard motor. I know people use it for coffee pots. I'm not a coffee drinker, so I can't speak for that, but nonetheless, I've cleaned a few radiators with it, and that's what we're going to do today. Also, I plan on putting all brand new hoses on this thing. I've got them. I'm trying to see really where we are with the car right now. And being the radiator flush looks necessary, I'm just going to top it off with white vinegar for now. Took about half a gallon or so. Try to see if I can't burn some of these pockets out. Yeah, that hose is pretty crispy. We need to change that. But like I said, for now, this will work. Checked everything over. We're not looking bad. Looks to me like we're ready to put a battery in here and try to fire it up. Now I know I did a revival video on this, and that was shot back in January. This is June. This car has not been started since that video was shot. So anyway, this may turn into truly round 2 of a revival. Yeah. Take 2. Alright, so after some search I actually did find the bolt. As for the matching nut, I'm just going to use what I could find. It's a little older, but oh well. Anyway, go ahead and put it together. No sparkles, that's a good thing, I guess. Alright, I think we're ready. So at this point, I'm going to put a little gas in the carburetor. Give us a 2-stroke gas. I'm going to, hopefully I can fill the bowls up. Alright, bowls filled up right when the bottle ran out. That's a good thing. Now again, using 2-stroke oil because she hadn't been started in a while, and when I did have it started, I didn't have it running long. So anyway, I'm gonna say we're getting ready to start it up. It's like, all right, so a minute ago I went to hook up Balloon Wolf 6000, and I found out that my battery terminal was no good. The end of the cable, I mean, I couldn't get a connection on that thing to save my tail. So I went and looked in the garage, and I had a spare red cable. So I went ahead and changed the positive cable out. So now we're going to try the ignition again and see if it does anything. Still nothing. Alright. Not sure what's going on with that. Alright, so as I was hooking up the Lone Wolf and all, I initially had power, even did a test bump on it. Well, something went wrong and I've lost power. So I got the old electrode meter here. See if I can't figure out where the power problem is. 12 volts to battery. That much is good. 12 volts to post. That's good. Getting current there. Why is this not happening? Alright. So I find that very, very interesting. Because I haven't found a place that doesn't have power yet, but when I do this, okay, maybe we'll let a little bit loose. See what happens. Well, beans, I forgot to hook this up. Evidently something in that. Go get some more of this. Alright, so for whatever reason, she wants to fight me worse today than she did on the initial revival. I don't know why, but she is. So, went back to the terminal that on the revival needed some extra cleaning. Now let's see what happens. Definitely lost spark. Wonder why. That might be my reason right there. See what happens now. What that was scared the crap out of me. We just lost the starter. I just saw a big flash down there. Son of a words I'm not going to say on here. Oh my goodness. Well, that's an evening. I literally saw a flash look like lightning when it did that. So yeah, I'm gonna have to see what I got. I think it was last summer before I started the channel. I had a little bit of drama trying to get the correct starter for one of these while I was doing my Fairlane. So, long story short, I may have one sitting around here, but I'm going to have to check. I can't remember. But yeah, this is going to just shut me down for the night. So anyway, I'll catch back up with you. Okay, so today I came under here to change the starter. And my initial plan was just to change the starter. I wasn't going to film it and I'll just go tell y'all, hey, I changed the starter. But when I got down here and saw what was going on, well, I just had to bring you in and show you. First of all, I noticed how close we are to this exhaust right here. That's where it comes over from the other side. And, well, I'm not feeling that. I may be putting duals on this car quicker than I thought. But also, I don't even know if y'all gonna be able to see this because I can just feel it. Anyway, I could just barely feel it there. And that flash I saw overnight. Yeah, that was the battery or the electrical post hitting the exhaust. Yeah, that could be a problem. Then I noticed this. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's something we can't ignore, so let me see what's going on with this starter. Being's last year with my manual transmission Fairlane, I experienced some drama. It looks like they shimmed it out for the same reason. Now, I got a starter sitting outside from the whole rigmarole last year, but I can't remember which one it is. So I might have a spare, I might not. So anyway, let me go ahead and do something about this and figure out what to do about a starter. I do not like it that close to the exhaust, but I may put a heat wrap on it. I don't know if I still got any of them or not. I think I may have put the last one on the Black Galaxy. But yeah, I was planning on waiting a while to run dual exhaust on this, but with that pipe that close to the starter, that may be happening sooner rather than later. Alright, here's a useful tidbit. If you're trying to get a bolt somewhere where you can't fit your hand, such as maybe the top bolt of a starter on a Falcon, and the bolt keeps falling out of the socket while you're trying to get it in there, just wrap a little painter's tape around it. It'll hold your bolt in there, and then once you get it to where it needs to be and thread it in, that painter's tape will just break loose. Well, that's about the 59th time I've been under this car working on the starter. And let me tell you, it is tight, and well, I had quite a fiasco with this starter. See, over here, just off camera, is my 64 Fairlane. And last year I had to replace the starter in it while I was working on some things. And it took me 2 or 3 times, maybe more than that, to figure out that that car that's a small block Ford and a 3-speed manual transmission uses the starter that's specified for automatic transmission. These snafus happen in the system, but like I said, 64 automobile, small block, 3-speed manual. Certainly, this that's also a 64 with a small block and a 3-speed manual, certainly it's going to use the same starter, right? Wrong. Now this one actually, at the end of the day, used the starter that's specified for a manual transmission. But makes sense, but Ford, why the inconsistency? Come on. I honestly thought that when I learned from the Fairlane that will apply here on the Falcon, it didn't. And long story short, the previous owner had also put automatic starter on here, and he shimmed it out with washers, and when he did that, he left 2 little thread in the bell housing, and what happened was the top bolt backed out, and it fell over, and the hot post landed on the exhaust, which shorted out the motor and fried that starter. And then I'll go trying to do lessons learned and all, and use starters I got lying around. Anyway, finally, I made that story long enough. A 3132 fits this particular Falcon. If you're working on one, I'd say this might be the opportunity to take off what you have, assuming what you have is right. In my case, it wasn't, but just take it off, go to the parts store. I like shopping at Rock Auto to save money, but I ended up in the long run, I paid more this time. But yeah, it happens. Nonetheless, I got some extra starters on the shelf now for a Ford automatic. I'll use them one day. Anyway, enough of that mess. Let's see if this actually works. Battery hooked back up. Please, 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 I don't want to go under again. She had to like she wanted to start, but I believe I heard a backfire too. Well, I feel comfortable enough to take off a jack at least. I've cranked on a few more times off camera. She fires up, cuts off immediately. I've gotten a couple more backfires too. So anyway, my thought is the timing may be off. I'm trying to kind of troubleshoot this. It's amazing that the first revival video didn't fight me all, now it's fighting me. And trying to get something that resembles proper timing on it. Problem is I don't have a timing light. Now, Prime Day is coming up within a week of when I'm recording this. So my idea is to get a timing light, but right now, as of today, I don't have one. So I'm going to do the best I can without, and hopefully I can get this to a point where we can idle, and God knows I'd love to know if I got a clutch in this thing. So at this point I realize, as I'm editing this, that I had an audio problem again. So now I squeezed the Lone Wolf 6000, and lo and behold, she started. Come to find out, the problem I had was this white wire that you see jiggling. I've got two of those. One of them's white, one of them's red. I've been using the red one. Turned out the red one didn't have good connection, and that was most of what my problem was. So anyways, always kind of check the little things first, because a lot of times that's what it is. So anyway, this little clip's almost over, and we'll go back to real audio right now.
It's recording your voice too.
The car hadn't been run on the road since 1975. Push that. Push it back towards the back. Alright, so I was just going to do the oil change and tell y'all, hey, I did an oil change. But I pulled the oil plug out. It's right here in my hand. I'll show you the oil. Actually, pretty dark in here. Is that better? Not really? Let's go outside. Let's try this again. Alright. So the oil on my hands. See how thin that is? And it smells real heavy of gas. So what I think may have happened is I think somebody may have been trying to clean the inside of the engine with gas, and hopefully that'll explain my lift. Fill it back up with, put a Hastings filter on it. I'll be using some diesel oil that has the zinc and all in it, so that should help my situation too. And that is one vintage Motorcraft filter. I have no idea how old that thing is, but anyway, it's gone. Back under the hood. Back up under here. We now have some fresh oil. That's a good thing. So hopefully I'll take care of some of the noise I had. I'm going to hope that'll work itself out. We got the new oil circulating in the engine. I guess the next thing for me to get some of these tools off, and after I get the tools off, We're going to take it for a ride if we got a clutch. Alright, so while I've been picking up tools, I'll let it idle. Yeah, we got some smoke going on. So I'm just going to hope that from it not be on the road in 47 years. I'll also try to see if we got a thermostat. I hadn't kicked on yet, but I guess the big thing next, do we have a clutch? I'll be yes, we have a clutch. Watch out, world. The Falcon is, we're going to try and make it, at least make it to the street. That brake pedal is awful soft. Let me check that fluid level. Bye-bye. So this is the first time in 47 years this Falcon has been driven on the road. Now granted, right now I don't have it registered or tags or insurance, any of that nice stuff. But nonetheless, for the first time since 1975, 47 years ago, we're going down the road. And sorry about that, that's the first time I've ever shifted into second. And let me tell you, she bit. I was worried I wasn't even going to have a clutch. Oh yeah, we got a clutch. We got a clutch, we got a transmission. I'm still a little concerned that it's smoking, but I'm hoping, hope with me people, that it's all dry rings from, like I said, off the road, 47 years. So maybe they'll come back around. I've still got a little air in my brake lines. They ain't the best, but that's all. All stuff we can figure out. I get some air in here because it's hot. I hadn't hooked up the window cranks yet, so I'm mostly windows up. I got the driver's side about halfway down. don't know why, but my phone keeps cutting off video mode. I decided to use my phone for this because my normal camera was acting up a little bit, so. Tell you, I got the sister cars to this. I got a 65 Mustang, or excuse me, 66 Mustang. That's a 6-cylinder automatic. And I got a 63 Mercury Comet that's a 6-cylinder 3-speed. This is my first time driving one of these type of things with a V8 in it. And let me tell you, I'm going to like this thing a lot. I just got to get these brakes a little better. Like I said, I think I still got some air in the lines, but we can work that out. Just over at a friend's house now, so he's been wanting to see this car, so I'm going to show it to him, show him it's running. So the other evening I was successfully able to drive this thing down the road for the first time in 47 years. Last any kind of registration I can find, any evidence of it, states 1975, so that's a long time. A little bit of time has passed from when I started shooting this video to the present. And in light of that, there's some things I don't know if I've mentioned or not that I've kind of learned along the way. This car that I was pretty sure when I got it, in fact I was almost positive, was a 260 V8. Actually we got 289 in it. When I had to start her off I looked at the numbers. This engine was made January 26, 1965, so this is not the original engine. And I have reason to believe the transmission's a 72, but I'm not positive. But nonetheless, we got a 3-speed in there. It does work pretty well. And that's what's partly interesting, is when I got this car, I went either a 64 or 65 Falcon with a floor shift manual, which this is a converted column to floor. I went for 289. I thought I had 260, turns out I got 289. I went a hardtop 2-doors, and that's also what I got. I always liked the 64 wraparound trim on the side and the little chevrons in the back. This has got that. However, I like the 65 grille better. I got one of them somewhere around here. I got a 65 grill, and I probably bet 3 64 grills. So the engine itself, found out that I thought it had just a little extra gas in the oil from it being flooded. Come to find out, somebody tried to clean the engine with gasoline, and it was almost pure gas in there. I really hope I did not hurt this thing when I started and had it running a little bit. doesn't have that much time with just the gas in the engine. Pretty much what y'all seen on the channel is the amount of running it did with that. I got it changed out. Still got a little bit of a lifter tick, and that's going to be the next thing I take care of. I went to Wally World, picked up some Lucas. So I'm going to dump the Lucas in there, and hopefully that'll help. It says you're supposed to do it like 20% Lucas, 80% oil. My neighbor just bombed. She's alright. Alright, looking at the oil level, still smell a little gas in it, so it will be a short oil change. That's much better than it was. So anyway, I'm just going to dump all the Lucas in there. Normally it's a good idea to put some of your oil in there, then dump the Lucas in the jug and mix it up, and then dump the rest in there. That's a great idea, but we're a little late for that, so I'm just going to dump the Lucas straight in the engine. And since I'm not in a real big hurry, it can take as long as it needs. Is there a secret to getting these tabs off? Every time I tear them, this one just doesn't want to come off. Huh. Never mind. And for whatever reason, this one's got two oil fillers. It's got one on the timing chain, one on the valve covers. Probably has something to do with that not being the original engine. Now, when I was sold this car, the seller told me it was a matching numbers car. No, it's not. But I'm okay with that. I didn't pay a matching numbers price for it, and well, it's got what I wanted, so I'm happy with what I paid for it, so it doesn't really matter. But in the seller's defense, I will say that when whoever changed the engine in it, they did use the factory manifold, so that manifold numbers do go with the car, but the block most certainly is a 289. So anyway, I'm hoping that Lucas, I need to go check on that. Alright, everything's 10-4 from that. Anyway, I think my Lucas is done draining in the engine now. Yep, sure enough. That's saying I'm going to try to get this fuel system cleaned out a little bit. And for that, I'm going to use this. I dumped about half a can in the gas tank. I do things a little differently than some people, but I put some in the gas tank so I'll continue to do it after this treatment. Now, a year ago and longer, I always used Seafoam for this. And Seafoam is an excellent product. And I guess it was getting close to a year ago now that I got introduced to the world of YouTube mechanics. And I found one of the people was using this stuff and having pretty good results with it. So I gave it a try, and I found out that, yeah, this stuff works great. This is great. Seafoam's great. They're both great. This one costs about half as much. So, Berryman B12. I like my old Ford truck. Every time I get that thing out of storage, it seems like I always got to put a can of either Seafoam or Berryman in it. Girl started. We got it to the point now where she's idling a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and start rolling. As I've heard called the Italian tune-up. let the Lucas and all that circulate in. Try to get that lifter good and lube. We're still hoping it'll come out of this. It does seem to quiet it down just a little bit, so I'm optimistic that I'm not going to have to pull the valve cover or more off to get this fixed. But like I said, some time's passed since I started filming this to now, so I'm just going to kind of recap. Change the fuel tank, the fuel pump, the fuel lines, put 2 inline filters in it. That's the carburetor just as I got it. When I pulled the head off, it looked like it had been rebuilt. It had never been used. And I was a little worried it was leaking, but it seems like once the gaskets got wet, that came back around. I was a little worried I might have air in the brake lines, but the more I think about it, where I worked on, they just need to adjust in a little bit. I'm pretty sure that this radiator is no go. A couple places where I believe I'm finding some leaks. So, anyway, we're doing a white vinegar flush with the radiator. I got new hoses and all to put on, hadn't done that yet. The heater core's leaked, so undoubtedly that leaks. But, like I said, we got this car. It's been pretty much left for dead. And when the previous owner told me it was a numbers matching car, I think he saw the numbers on the intake and honestly believed it was. I don't think he is the one that changed the engine out in it. I think he, like I said, nothing against him. I think he told me the truth because he believed it. But I might be a little upset if I was after a numbers matching car, but I'm not. So I just want a car to have fun with. Get these brakes dialed in, and as long as that lifter tick goes away, and this cross, if you want to go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button, try to get some more revivals on this channel. I'm working towards that goal. I appreciate everybody that's already liked and subscribed to my videos. I appreciate everybody. And now, we're going to get to this week's viewer's vehicle. This is from a fellow up in Canada. This is my first Canadian one. And he's got a really awesome vehicle. I can't wait to show it to you. So, let's take a look at this week's viewer's vehicle. I've been excited to bring y'all this week's viewer's vehicle. This one is coming from way up north, from Fort McMurray, Canada. This vehicle is owned by a fellow named Mike Chiquetto, and it is quite the vehicle. We have a race car. And Mike sends me an email. I got it on my laptop here, and it says, "How are you doing today? This is my little 1969 FED Dragster. The car was originally from Bakersfield, California, and was brought to Canada in 2019. When I got this car, it was not running. I've never had Dragster before. I traded a 1985 Mustang for it. The car is now powered by a 302 Ford with a power-glide transmission, along with a 9-inch Ford rear diff. Only got one pass on it so far, and that was just make an easy pass, and it ran a 6.70 at 100 miles an hour in the 8th mile. July 22nd will be my next attempt. So, also he sent me a video that we'll take a look at. Thank you, Mike, for sending in your car. Mike also has a YouTube channel. It's MJM Racing. He's got a lot of like street racing stuff and all on there. Pretty interesting channel. If you're into that, go check it out. I'm sure he'd appreciate it. Like me, he's trying to get his channel to grow, so I get where he's coming from. Mike, this is an awesome Dragster. I don't know all that much about these types of cars, but it's really neat. I like the old vintage front engine design of old dragsters. I had a friend that had one similar one time. But I hope that on July 22nd, when you get to make your next attempt, I hope you get everything you're after. Hope you get some better times. Hey, nothing wrong with the time you got. I'm not saying that. We always want to improve, don't we? Also, if you decide that you want to post up some of your videos of your passes, just send me the link, and after you send them to me, I'll put them in the description. Try to send some views your way. If being on the viewer's vehicle thing is something that interests you, I'm open to pretty much any kind of vehicle. Send it to me. I mean, we got race cars, we've had old trucks, all kind of stuff. 70s GMs, Fords, Mopars. If you're into imports, send it. You know, it's wide open. This is y'all's part of the show here. But yeah, if you're interested, just send me an email to labsgarage@gmail.com. I'll post a link down in the description. And just send me, I found 7 to 12 pictures works well, but I'm not too strict on that number. And just a paragraph or two telling me whatever it is you want to say about it. We'll put it on. Part of the show I really enjoy, and I enjoy being able to share this with you. Your participation is always appreciated. And if you would, please hit the like and subscribe buttons. They do help the channel out an awful lot. I'm trying to get this channel to grow, and the more it grows, the more and better stuff I can put out there. I'm still kind of finding my niche in this whole world, and one of the things that I'd like to be known as is probably one of the more interactive channels out there. So anyway, I appreciate each and every one of you, and we'll have more on the Falcon, and I hadn't forgotten about the old white Dodge truck. We'll be coming back to that here shortly. So y'all take care of your projects and have fun. Can't wait to see you again. Take care. Bye bye.